This is After Hours at Large, and I am your host, Dr. Adebiyi. For the first season, join me alongside a few house officers in the 2023-2024 batch at the Federal Medical Center Owo and learn what it takes to navigate life as a doctor out of medical school in a place far away from home. For some reason that I can't share on this podcast, this is an episode I thought I wasn't going to get to record. Anywho, today I'm joined by one of the most important persons to me. This person is the first house officer I got to work with in FNC Owo, and is also the house officer that taught me the majority of clinical skills I got to learn in house job. Taught me how to set lines. Like I already had the knowledge, but he taught me how to set lines. I owe a lot of my house job experience to him, and he took really good care of me. So allow me to welcome Dr. Adebiyi, the house officer representative.
I'm Dr. Adebiyi, my friend.
Where did you finish from?
Oh, thank you very much. I actually finished from the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan.
Okay.
Alright, so.
Where are you from?
Yeah, actually I'm from Ibadan, Oluyole.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm more or less also one of the very popular old warriors of Ibadan, Balogun.
Yeah, you would see the Ibadan vibe. Like that's one of like my major things to talk about. Like, I'm Ibadan, don't do that.
And I need to show my people that yes, I'm here. I'm representing them.
Yeah,
well.
they can see. So, have you been in Ibadan all your life?
Nah, not really. I'm not been all my life. In fact, I would say, probably I was been in Ibadan for the past, let's just say, 3 + 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah, just like most nearly half of my life so far.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, so when you finished medical school, how long did it take for you to start house job?
Yeah, I finished medical school around July. I started house job in October.
Okay.
So
why didn't you go to Ibadan to your house job?
Ibadan. Well, I'm actually someone that is quite a bit adventurous.
Okay.
I like to try new places and new things. In a way, I've had a feel of Ibadan, so I need to try somewhere else. I've never really considered staying back in Ibadan for my last job. In fact, in a way, I not really want to do much with Ibadan anymore. Probably I want to try other places, other sectors in the country. So, like I said, I'm actually quite adventurous.
Okay, yeah. I know that. We want to climb mountains together. Okay, so why did you pick FMC for your house job? What was the thought process behind that?
FMC wasn't my first choice, so my preferred choice was somewhere else. Why Owo? Well, when I opened the portal, Owo was the only available federal medical center in the entire southwest Nigeria. So that was the major reason why I picked Owo. Next thing, I was under FMC. Okay, actually, I think Ido was up for a while, but then I was unable to pick it. I didn't even pick Ido. But then Owo actually struck me because in a way, I'm kind of familiar with the name. Whenever we're traveling, we usually pass through Owo on our way to Abuja and then up north. So, I was like, oh, Owo, well, that name sounds familiar. Let me just pick it, and that was it.
Okay. Alright. How was it like?
The first thing was a lot, so it was intense. I don't want to say much. I'm quite used to, like with it, Ibadan, and it's, we are very nice people in Ibadan. We welcome guests with open arms, and we're always very happy to see other people around us. My picture of I was not really like that. So, though we're still part of the Yoruba land, there was a bit of cultural shock. I was expecting more. Hey.
Odojuwa is great with this one. So it was a shock coming forward. Okay, what about the FMC itself, being in FMC or what? Like sitting out there because I am aware you had a little bit of problem with accommodation and all that. So what was the integration into the system like for you?
Actually, it was very rough. I won't lie. I must confess. FMC, looking at the environment, it's actually a very nice place. That's very beautiful and great prairie. It looks, how would I put it? You see flowers that are well maintained. It's very good. It's very nice road network. In a way, their buildings and very nice buildings actually. And then they have this gangway. So FMC or itself as an environment, as a place, looks like a very nice place. But then me integrating into the system was quite rough. Yeah. When I resumed that job, I was told there was no accommodation. Actually, I would have made plans of my own, probably getting somewhere outside or elsewhere. But then I never knew. All I got to know was that, oh, you come into the system and then you're meant to provide a place. But then I was shocked when I came in and then there was nowhere to stay. In fact, I was actually stranded. I was stranded for a while. Actually, I had to stay in the car room for a very long time. I was about almost 2 months into Alger when I was told, oh, someone was finally open for me to stay. So I felt, so what's the aim? I've already been staying in the car room for the past 2 months. And in my next posting, I was going to be very busy. I won't have time to even go home. So why not just stay, complete the 3 months in the core room, and then when there is space inside the hospital, I get to move into the hospital accommodation.
Okay, so the first 2 months of staying in the corner
Yeah,
was because you had nowhere to stay.
yeah, no,
Then your third month was personal choosing to stay there.
yeah,
Then you got a space in the hospital.
yep.
Okay, so that's like the accommodation thing like for you. But what was your postings like? You started with surgery, right?
Yeah.
That was surgery like.
Surgery, well, I've always loved surgery, so in a way, I was really psyched up to really enjoy it. I was like, well, no matter what I face, I will try to make the best use of it and just in a way enjoy what I'm doing. I started surgery posting with plastic surgery. Oh my god, it was tough and it was intense. And that's because my partner, actually my very first house officer I met during our job was Dr. Oyemi Phillips Olutunde. So we were both green and we both started, in a way we were both in plastic surgery at the same time. It was a very rough period actually. No place to stay. I was just hanging around and then we had lots and lots of patients. I remember my very first day, when I actually joined the unit. They were in theater doing a minor procedure. So I all got to the consultant, introduced myself, and we actually had a very lovely conversation. He's also a UI product, and then was like, "Oh, your school, why is your school so popular? Why is this? You in your school is the only school that has put this in the dollar, right?" And I was like, "Oh, that's actually so nice." So it was really, really welcoming. At least I enjoyed that part. It made me feel at home. It made me feel at ease. So that very first day, in fact, that very first day, I started calling. Imagine, no accommodation, but then I was on call automatically. That was my initial experience. The second day, another call again, and the second day was, how will I put it? Was another thing because there was an accident, gas exploded at the back of a moving vehicle, and then they had to bring them to FMC. So I was so green, and then I had to be the first on call to actually like evaluate those patients. Anyway, it was a little an experience. Yeah. So from plastic surgery, I moved on to urology. I really enjoyed my time there. So it was a very nice experience. Urology, I met with at least one of the oldies, the oldest officers, person of Dr. Adebiyi. So the posting was really interesting. She also made it very nice. From urology, very nice time in urology. I went on to neurosurgery.
That was where we met.
Yeah, that's where I met Green, Dr. Delaga.
Fine.
Green, timid, Dr. Delaga. And if you train down, made that better.
You can see you because when I was talking, it was like I'm trying to whine him. Yeah.
No, I'm not a proud person. Alright.
So then after neurosurgery, you went to general surgery, right?
Yeah, general surgery.
So the very, very wonderful thing about this is that we've always been following each other in all our, like once he's in surgery, I would follow him to Lilu's surgery. then he gets to medicine, to whatever person he is. I just kept following him around. So what was it like being the house officer, house officer trying to instruct somebody else that this is how things are supposed to be done?
Not to be proud or not to, sugarcoat things. I'm actually a peer instructor. Before getting admission into school, then I happened to teach a few students. So it gave me this view of life. So in a way, I actually enjoy, showing other people the way, putting them through something. I've met passionate teachers, and we are taking a bit of cues from them. So it taught me well, and I also gained a lot from them.
Mm-hmm.
So teaching others is, in a way, something I really, really enjoy doing.
After surgery, you went to pediatrics,
Yeah.
and by pediatrics, you're already living inside the hospital.
Yes.
You already got
Yes.
in your own accommodation.
Yes.
So how was it like?
Okay, let me just say this. I started on a very tough note. Alright.
Okay.
So I survived surgery. Surgery was very tough for like 3 weeks plus. I was alone. So actually, Adelaja came as a very big relief. She made life a little better. And I went on to general surgery. Oh my god, I was. And also, some of my senior colleagues in general surgery made the posting a bit frustrating. At some point, I was not even enjoying what I was doing anymore. So I carried this same, this same fatigue into pediatrics. Pediatrics is a very tough place. They try to be the best with the little resources that they have. Actually, I appreciate them, but then it also stresses whoever is in pediatrics. Stresses everybody. The registrars, the health officers, they all get stressed. And there's this thing in pediatrics too that they've refused to change. There's a 48-hour call thing. I don't know why and how I end up doing, I think about 6 or 5 48 hours weekend call. I think for other people they do just like 2 or 3 in their 3 months in pediatrics, but somehow I ended up doing like 5 or 6. So pediatrics was really, really tiring for me. It was tiring. At some point, I would actually feel that I wasn't feeling too well. I was just struggling and trying to just finish the posting. So the fatigue from surgery, coupled with the workload in pediatrics, was actually a lot for me. But I survived.
Okay. So it was in this pediatrics posting that the opposition came open for you to run for House Officer Representative. Am I
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So when would you? I mean, apart from me threatening you that if you do not run, I would make your life miserable. What also, what also made you decide to run for House of Representatives?
Well, just like she has said, she threatened me. Imagine. And I didn't have any other choice because I was actually afraid for my life.
Wow. I'm not violent, people. Don't believe anything you hear from this person.
Well, I faced it, so actually believe me. Alright,
Okay,
so what made me run for the post of the HOREP? Well, I'm actually someone that likes things being organized. Though as a person, I'm still trying to be organized. But then I like things being organized, and it's, how will I say it? I see it as a challenge that I like to actually take up. You know, just make sure things work to the best of my ability. When I came when I actually started out job, then I was doing a few things. Then I was trying to, how will I say it, recruit, assist the HREP I met them. So not really assist per se, but when we have issues that come up, I'll be like, oh, this and that. When we have to pick up new tickets from the HCS office, or I'll run there, pick up new tickets. So I was trying to just do anything I can do just to help. At some point I stopped there, but then I was just I was just happy doing it. So when people some people actually came to meet me that, oh, they see me to be this kind of person that is very friendly. They see a bit of organization skills in me. I should run for the post. Actually, at that point, when they actually came to meet me, I was not really interested in running for the HOF. In a way, I lost interest somewhere along the line. I thought that it was tough. I was just trying to survive. But then, I don't know, something actually just convinced me. And plus, I like threatening me actually. I decided to run for it.
Yeah. Just a little bit of nudging here.
Nudging, threatening to
just nudging.
nudging.
So we'll still go back to how your posting went, but what was it like running and coming into that part of authority? How was it like for you?
Well, I want to say it's actually a part of my career space. For me, it's more like service
Okay.
because um, sincerely, your easy lies there wears the crown.
Yeah.
Yes,
I said, who was it like running for it? The all
yes, the HRFC.
yeah.
So, like I said, it was quite interesting because so that people showed interest for the simple. One of them, a very good friend of mine, also, Dr. Gundano, yes, and then Mugo. So, it was quite interesting because I've interacted with Gundano on several occasions, and probably because of our interaction, when I actually resumed surgery too, in a way, I I don't want to put into some things, no, just like that. In a way, landed into my open arms, and then it was quite fun. So, maybe I don't know. It was trying to be difficult running against me. So, but it was actually a very wonderful experience because I would like to put it was actually a time that actually like strengthened our bond. And Dr. Mugo actually started with, I believe it was medicine. So
Okay.
I've not really had any interaction with
Interactions.
him. But the lections were actually very nice. We were actually like very cool with each other. The night before the elections, we were still together gisting. We actually took pictures that we actually sent to
Good
the
class.
HO page.
Yeah.
So it was a really nice time. Yeah, I had to do manifesto. So people actually stressed me. Notably among them is one Dr. Adebiyi. Oh my god. I was trying to campaign to her. She was like, no, until I see your manifesto, then I'll decide if I'm going to vote. So I'm like, haha, this is one thing. I'm campaigning. He's not even allowed me to even land. So then
So
that
how
was
was the
just
campaigning like? Were you going person by person or was on the group chat? I mean, I did a little bit of. I mean, when you force somebody to show up, you also have to show up for the person. So I know I did a little bit of asking people, oh, why are you voting for? Go to and vote. And at that point, people knew that they could not come to ask me, what am I voting for?
yeah.
Because they already knew who I was going to vote for. So how were you going around with the campaign and trying to get people to, vote for you?
So I actually created a team about 7 people. Then I told them about what I wanted to do while I was running for the post, and they really supported me. Mostly among them is Dr. Mekaji Okuda. Actually, he wanted to also run for HRF,
Yes.
but then when I told him I was also going for it, he was like, that's good. Come here, product. Like, he doesn't mind, that he's going to support me. So actually, he was actually a very big role because I just had to delegate, not like delegate per se. I just had to beg him that please see, I'm in difficult pediatrics. I don't have time to run campaigns. I don't have time to even write my manifesto. I don't have time to do this. I don't have to do that. And I was like, oh, no problem. I can actually like just start with anything. And it was really, really, really helpful. So it was actually like my campaign manager. I'll put it that way because it was my major driving force. So from Metajua, we created a group. We added other associates to the group. So eventually, since I will not actually be able to, since I won't be able to meet all the associates within a very short period of time, we created a group of all the associates that actually know. And when I say group, I actually mean virtually all the associates in FMCO. So I added them to the group, and then the WhatsApp group actually served as a platform for the campaign. Then people that I could actually meet physically, also meet physically and talk to them.
Okay, now for someone that does not even know, what is the duties of the House of Representatives? Seeing as that's what you've done for the past how many months?
Um, 6 months now.
6 months.
Yeah,
So
this
what
is
are the
just around
duties
6 months.
of the House of Representatives?
In summary, to look after all the officers on
Okay.
to make the EMS, that's the emergency medical service, the equal roster, and to also serve as a liaison between the hospital management and the officers. So basically, they need to know actually that we actually have a voice and there's someone that can actually like be the bridge between the house officers and the management.
Okay.
Yeah. So also in terms of the relationships too, we also we don't act alone, we don't work alone. So to also maintain cordial relationship with other healthcare workers, and also they're not really like a duty sha, but then the HRS should actually be the one, should be the major driving factor in putting us on the side, especially the new ones through some things.
Okay.
So just like mini orientations
Okay.
for new house officers.
So what was it like? What were those major things you think you were able to accomplish during your time as the House of Representatives? I mean, you know that you were going to answer this question.
All right.
So
Actually, the list is actually so long, so there are some things I might not be able
Yeah,
um,
just give us
to
snapshot
remember.
of
Okay,
yeah,
so
the
let me just start.
snapshot.
Things I was able to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to just create like a perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, so as a reach well, made the MS style, then since I was able to achieve, watching at the meeting with the management, with or like one of the officials of the management, in terms of the HCS.
Okay.
So during that meeting, I told him, "Oh, I'm the HRF, and also a council."
Okay. So what exactly was this counseling? What was it about?
Yes, for me, I actually believe that I can't do things alone. That I
Okay.
need people to also help out. So the council members actually included people like those that contested together, Dr.
Okay.
Ogundano, Dr. Mugon, and then some select few that some select few people
Okay.
that actually I felt I could actually work very well with. So I had Dr. Adeyi, I had Dr. Obiang as the dental officers coordinator. Then I had Strong Lord, Dr. Metajua,
Okay.
also as a member of the council. I also had Dr. Anu Ojoli, also
Okay.
a member of the council. And also the second elected official, Dr. Unwoba Oluchi, was also in the council.
Yeah.
So
I was not on the council people.
yes, because Elijah, she can't stress her.
Yeah.
I don't trust her with stress. So not like I don't trust her with stress, but I was not in the mood to deliver with things. Alright, so she was not part of the council, but then she was a major support.
Yeah.
You don't need to be in the council to do
I was
that.
I was legitimately running. I was legitimately having to go run and threaten other people behind him. I was in the black. I was the armed force of his management. People knew that it wouldn't have sent me, but I was just going there anyway, threatening people that hey, people are stressing Adebiyi up. Yeah, so that was what I was doing. I was just being violent underground, making sure his government was smooth.
Alright.
So what here you were talking about the major accomplishments.
Yeah, so we met with him, we told him about our plan. He was like, oh, it's actually very good. We're trying to organize ourselves, that he actually appreciates that. Then we told him that, oh, the Children's Day was forthcoming, was just by the corner then that we actually like to organize something for the Children's Day. And I was like, oh, that's actually very nice that they will really, really appreciate it. So, but he also mentioned then that the HOD also mentioned then that um, the pediatric department, that they're also planning something that we should try to work hand in
Uh-huh.
hand with the department. So honestly, that was the first official duty. Anyway, that was the first major duty that I performed. So the Children's Day we started planning it. Dr. Mutajua was also the chairman of the committee. He actually did a very wonderful job. Dr. Mutajua and Dr. Adeyeye, they were the major people that actually started with the task of making sure that we were able to do something. And I will tell you that, oh my God, the Children's Day event was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I was not around, but then my council members made me so happy. Well, not really made me so happy. They made the entire hospital so happy. They were able to organize something very nice. I was in a career posting, and something was still done in our that eventually the MD himself had to come and receive the gifts, the
Mm-hmm.
packages that we were able to get funds for and buy for the pediatric department. It was a really fun thing, and I was really really happy because oh my god, we were just thinking of something small, and then the whole hospital eventually got to know of what we did. So um so that was one of my first major accomplishments. Alright, so after the Children's Day event, following that, we were also able to sort out some issues with water supply in some of the blocks in the hospital. So I kept on going back and forth, meeting the plumbing unit, the commission officers, just to ensure that they actually like fix up the issues. Then actually around that time, so we had some officers that just joined. I just resumed that job. So we're able to do a bit of mini orientation for them. So those were some of the things I was able to accomplish very early. Then subsequently, we also met with the MD of the hospital. We told him our challenges, including the accommodation issues, then a very funny issue too, ONG research issue, and
Yeah.
also sporting events. Actually, the MD is actually a very He's a very nice person in a way. He really, really like he received us well. He listened to us. Like actually, I like that part of it. He actually took his time. He listened to everything we had to say. As we were talking, he was jotting those things down. And things that they could do immediately that required immediate action. He started calling people right there on the spot to fix some of those issues. I remember we went there complaining that the accommodations are outside the FMC guest house that we usually call Express and Heritage. They've not had lights in months. Right, and they was like, why? What's that? Why is that happening? He called the people in charge, and I actually said that days after that, power supply was restored to the FMC guest house. I guess the issue with the other commission
Okay.
was the Heritage was quite small. I think they had a blown transformer or something, so it was a major issue that the hospital could not fix.
Mm.
So those are some of the so from that meeting, we were able to get power supply restored back to the FMC guest house. Then we also informed about our sporting event, and we told him that it's actually that we're going to be meeting with the ALD. We're going to be having a football match with them. I was like, "Ah, that's actually very nice." There's also like a sporty person that actually enjoys doing sport, aerobic exercise. That was also going to support us in any way that he
Mm.
can. And just before the match with the ALD, he actually gave us, in a way, borrowed us tips, you know, shorts, jerseys, football, keeper's glove, and some other things, just to ensure that we actually had a very nice football
Mm.
match.
Can you just like summarize? Because as on Washington,
Ọ̀nà
because
gbọ́dọ̀ jìn.
he's taking his time with all the accomplishment, but I really like the fact that you mentioned the accommodation and the O&G research things because those were the really helpful things that he was able to like up with in his tenure as the as a such position. I had to cut you in between there because this man wants to go line by line and be
I
enlightening.
am meticulous.
Meticulous because meticulous to me.
Anyway, I
This is
keep
not
getting
this is not a post campaign thing. But I just wanted to say that as House of representative, he wasn't just not doing anything. Like there were a lot of things he was doing underneath the works. And the reason why I had to ask him to mention the things he had done was I remember during that time he was campaigning, one of the doctors had asked me that what exactly do House officer representatives do? Do they really accomplish anything? And I just wanted him to like at least mention it so that for anybody that's going to be in FNC or listening to this and have like maybe want to run for something, you will know that you can actually do something with the little space you have to occupy and serve. What was any funny, striking thing that happened to you as an house officer representative? Like something that you had to deal with constantly that was maybe funny, hilarious, something?
Okay, hilarious. Okay, actually, there is something. Um, Part of my native was to make the MS roster,
Mm.
and oh my god, people did not really make it easy. It's a bit hilarious because no matter what I do, someone will always complain that this and that, this and that, this and that. So yeah, I actually find that a bit striking. So I had to keep on explaining to people, meeting them, making them, all this and all that. Yeah,
How much often do you dedicate your work?
yeah, every time, quite every time because um the council page, I try not just for not to overburden myself with lots of activities. So
And fail miserably?
yeah, so once there's something to be done, I put it on the page, and now I tell something that please help me do this. You'll be in charge of this. So that was it.
Okay.
Alright.
So after pediatrics, you resumed in O&G. How was it like?
Well, O1G was meant to be a rest station for me, but I guess unfortunately my body had other plans for me.
Okay.
Like I said, I was already getting fatigue from surgery, pediatrics. I guess that really is a very big fatigue in O1G. O1G is actually like a nice posting. It's like I said, a break from the very tough nature of pediatrics. It was a break, but then I couldn't really make so much use of it. Um, at some point during the posting, I had to actually undergo surgery.
Yeah.
So actually, in a way, I just believe that probably this can actually be indolent. Has been in me all this while. Maybe because I've been taking antibiotics, taking all this because of malaria, or thinking it was, other things like respiratory tract infection. Maybe that was actually what suppressed um, the symptoms then.
Okay.
So yeah, that was it.
So That's all you have to say about ONG.
Yeah, ONG. Well, I actually met some very nice. I'm actually trying not to talk, not to talk too much.
No, I wanted you to stop that so you can talk more in this other place. That's why.
Oh,
That was it.
okay, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, ONG. When I resumed the posting, I actually met some very nice people. Yeah. Even before starting ONG, I met Dr. Adebayo. He was the acting chief reg then. I told him, oh, Dr. Adebayo, I have a bit of request. I'll be resuming ONG earlier than usual because I actually want my leave in ONG to be a 2 weeks leave rather than a regular 1 week period. And I was like, oh, what's the matter? I told him, oh, I actually wanted to go back to school to sort out some documentation issues. I need to get my certificate and all that. So I was like, oh, that's very nice, no problem. And just like that, he just called. He was like, oh, he might not even be around. He just placed some calls and I was like, oh, no problem. I can actually like get what I want. So it was actually really nice meeting people like him just as I was starting ONG. I already knew that oh ONG was going to feel like oh I was going to enjoy my time. But then that's for someone like Dr. Adebayo. I also met people that are not like Dr. Adebayo. I won't mention their names, but they wanted to make the person a bit because but then I'm stronger than them actually.
Yeah, because you're on your bed. Definitely not stronger than them.
Wow.
So sick man was ONG now. Weren't you sick?
Yeah, I was you, but then
Yeah. Hmm. There's a video that obviously people will not be seeing it.
what video?
There's a video of you sleeping during ONG morning review. What do you have to say about that?
Two things. Too sick. Yes, I was just recuperating. I told the other guys I wasn't feeling too well initially, so I was just recuperating. So you guys should just call me a slack. Let me sleep. In fact, let me sleep in the theater. Let me sleep anywhere. Thank you.
So after ONG you went into medical internal medicine.
Yes.
And how was it like?
Well, actually, yeah, internal medicine was actually the how would I put it? Should I say? Okay, I don't know how to put it, but then I actually felt a lot better in internal medicine. I was already nearing full recovery.
Yeah.
So internal medicine was actually the place I actually became happier once again, and it was a very nice experience.
So which courses did you do internal medicine?
Yeah, I started with cardiology. Cardiology is very tough on a regular day. Um, it's very tough. We get to work almost every day of the week. In fact, not even every day of the week. The only day that is a bit soft is Friday.
Okay.
But then I kind of enjoyed it too.
Mm.
Yes, I enjoyed it. I had Dr. Osho in the posting with me at some point, and in a way, he actually helped out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
HRF work was calling. I had to
Yeah.
just.
But him and Oshomoto are doing two things. Each of them needs to do IPR. Let me just report both of them.
No, that's not true. We do IPR every day. We
Mm.
don't miss out any of our patients doing IPR.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But the thing is
Mm-hmm.
that because we are used to each other, so we're able to navigate through the ups and downs of cardiology. We're actually able to
Okay.
navigate it, yeah, very well. Some days, we're meant to be somewhere. For example, echo days. Immediately after morning review, the two of us will just disappear. We've gone to eat somewhere,
Okay.
and then at least we need to eat before continuing with the work, and then we'll now go back to our regular place. Within 10, 15 minutes, we are done. We're already back at where we're meant to be. So
Okay.
it was, having someone to do that together with really made the posting a lot more easier.
Okay. Then after
So after
cardio,
cardiology,
you
yeah,
you're in GI.
I was in GI. Oh my god.
You're the only out of in GI.
Yes, GI was a massive. Actually, it was a very massive. Was a very massive place. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started GI, I was the only house officer. Oh, the consultant actually been on. The consultant actually been on leave. So people are telling me, oh, GI is a very nice place. You don't have lots of patients. Nah, scam. Oh my god, I saw Shiggy. All right. So what really happened was that my first weeks in GI, sure, just the consultant, then one of my very good registrars, I'm talking of Dr. Edepo, very nice person. And then my very first guy was the only house officer. Then the second week, Dr. Samia Lau, a very nice person too, a very cool person, actually came to also join. Then it just started in the very third week. Dr. Oyedepo had to be moved to another unit entirely. So it was just The consultant, in person of Dr. Okonko, and the house officer, Dr. Adebiyi. It was a very tough period because, when we had more hands on ground, we're having just like two patients, three patients. Now that I'm in a way the only one in the unit, we now started having lots and lots of consults. At some point, we had like 10, 11 patients. Oh my God, I wanted to con during this period. It actually affected some of the things I wanted to do because it was during the same period that we were actually planning to have our HO week. Let me just say a few things here. The HO week actually was not the initial plan.
Okay.
The initial plan was just to have a get together ceremony. I mentioned that when we made the HCS, when we made the MD, we actually told them of all of our plans. So our plans included doing a blood donation drive, having a sports day, and also a table tennis contest, like sporting activities and some other things. So during that period, I just felt, oh, since we have so many events that we've been planning for, then people actually came some very good people actually came to meet me that, oh, why not just combine all these events together and tag it House Officers Week? And I was like, oh, that's a very wonderful idea. The idea was not well received by everybody, but eventually things worked out fine. So it was during this period when I was alone in GI, battling lots of patients, that we're also trying to organize and plan for the HO week. In fact, I was still in GI when we had the HO week, and in a way, it also affected my participation in the HO week. So that was GI. After GI, I went on to continue in nephrology, a very sweet place, and that was where I actually finished or rounded up my housemanship.
Nice. So, how was the emergency? Because you mentioned you did the emergency register. How was the emergency EMS calls like for you?
So actually, I actually find them interesting at some point. Then at some point, I got very tired. I just wanted to just end, to just finish. EMS calls, well, you tend to attend to emergency patients. In a way, I became very good at it. When patient comes in, you sideline, you take samples, you pass ETA. I became so good that I actually do everything at once. I had my own, how would I call it? I had my own store of some medical supplies. So once the patient comes in, before they even get all those things ready, I've already done all my work and then I'm just waiting. So waiting for the necessary results. Then at some point, things started happening within the hospital. We'll take samples and they'll waste our sample due to some logistics in the laboratory. And it became tiring. Seriously, it became very tiring. My first round of EMS calls was in surgery posting. That was my very first posting. And the last round of EMS calls was in my medicine posting, which was happened to be my very last posting. So between my surgery posting and medicine posting, a lot has actually really changed. And EMS became like a very big hassle for me. I was not really enjoying it like the way I used to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we've talked about the posting, your work as a teacher, right? How were you able to like incorporate other things into your house job here? Like, talk about work-life balance.
Mm. Work-life balance failed miserably for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just it. Um, okay. So the work was a lot. It was a lot for me. I could not reply friends on WhatsApp. I could not reach out to friends. And even till now, my plan is just, oh, now that you're actually done with our job, let me start going through my 1 year worth of messages on WhatsApp and start replying them. So yeah.
Yeah, they will have cut you out and then cut you off.
Nah,
They'll have done the big thing.
it doesn't really matter. We always, we always reconcile and not really reconcile. There's a way things work with me, Sha. I always get back and we always get back together.
Okay, so what can you say is the highlight of your year, the house job?
I like
Aside
my
from, of
year.
course, because I brought joy into
um,
your life.
okay, highlight of my year actually. Well, one of the highlights was actually becoming the HRF. Um, the major reason was because I was not really interested in becoming the HRF, but then I had a change of mind. I went for it, and I believe I did fairly. Adebiyi University
Call
job.
you.
Yeah,
You can only be 3.5.
3.5,
That's what you would do.
3.5 over 4. Yes,
Well, fun is
3.5
fun.
over 4.
People always symmetric in me.
So that's for the some of them. Then another highlight was actually yes, house job. Doing house job was also the first time I would land on a surgical table. I've always seen patients in theater, working on patients for surgery. But then the very first time I myself would be on the table was doing house job. Yeah, other highlights of house job, exploring Adelaja. Yeah, at some point I need to climb the door. Yeah, it was a very big highlight.
I had to force him.
Yeah,
I had to threaten him. See, let me tell you
I
something.
didn't want to go there. In fact,
Everything I had to do was threat. Threat is the way to. Sorry, not threat. Loving nudges.
nah, not just call. Anyhow, yeah. Also, another very highlight that I actually enjoyed was not the FMC or work of Akure posting, but just being in Akure was also a major highlight for me doing that. So, alright.
People have been having good things to say about Akure. Like, if this hospital was in Akure,
My God, it would have been very nice. Sorry for cutting you. Like, it would have been the best thing ever. But then, I don't know why.
we told you less,
Yeah, okay. So,
Yeah. But what could have killed us if it was in Akure?
what could have?
What could have choked a lot of life out?
Yes, actually,
I mean, what is choking now?
What is choking now? Imagine
It was in
in
the
Akure.
capital.
Well, you're actually right. But the thing is, I just think of it this way. How do I put it? Even with Owo, even with the FMC being in Owo,
Yes.
we still have people coming all the way from Akure, coming all the way from Edo State, coming all the way from Kogi State. So, of FMC or being in Owo is actually serving as a major referral center. So it's in a way, it won't really matter. I believe it's actually still being the same. What can choke us? Yeah. Imagine the entire hospital being in Akure, not just more consultants on ground. And actually, in a way too, our consultants will actually be much more happier because a lot of them are actually coming from Akure. Yeah. Yes.
I feel like it would have made a lot more sense.
sense.
Like even you as the officer, you'll be able to like
enjoy life,
go out, go to different places, sitting without having to.
Like the Dore trip, for example, now was how will I say it? In a way I didn't really want to go because I'm really scared of being on the road.
Yeah.
But then let's say FMC was in Akure. It would have made sense. I could have just said, oh, one day, over this weekend, let me just go to Idori. This other weekend, let me go to Ileoluji. This other weekend, let me go to Oriomi. Like, it would have made more sense. But then, for some reasons, best known to those that made those reasons, those that made those decisions, FMC or war happens to be in war.
Yeah. So, what's the future looking like for you? Now that you're done with house job.
Yeah, future looking like for me. Well, I'm actually quite optimistic. I feel I won't be able to achieve much staying back. So I would try my best to, work up I'm going to leave this place. I'm actually quite smart with my hands. Yeah, I like that. So and I actually want to give myself the best.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't plan on staying here because I believe I might not be able to
by here you mean Nigeria?
Yeah.
So that
okay. So actually, it's not like I say I don't plan on ever coming back to Nigeria. Okay. But then I need to, I master my skills. I don't want to know it all.
Okay.
But then whatever I know, let me know it very well. Let me be up to date. Let me be up to standard.
You don't want to do nothing in the tropics.
I'll still come back to the tropics. Yeah, that's still part of my plan. But then I want to, get something really, really tangible that will really, really be happy with, work where things really, really work.
Okay.
Sorry for using that word, where things really work. But then work where you're asking for EUCR and the result is getting to you within 30 minutes. You're making decisions based on real time results, not result that will be coming to you after 2, 3 days, 7 weeks or so. So I just believe I just need to have that kind of, like I said, I'm also an adventurer. I want to experience new things and at least combine all those things together and create something wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's my plan for the future and that's my plan for life.
Okay. What's the thing that you feel like has taught you a lot more in this, like in terms of opportunity and everything that you feel like if you had been in Ibadan, you would have gotten it, but being or has like deprived you.
Really? I don't think there is anything like
Yeah,
that.
even having time with family.
Actually, well, when it comes to work, like hospital, healthcare, I don't think there is much that could have actually missed out. Because if I had stayed back in Ibadan, oh my god, I won't have any life. I'm still struggling with, you know, coping with life. But if I had to be in Ibadan, my friends that did their house job in Ibadan who had not seen on social media for like a year, they left completely. Me, I was still at me. Sometimes I'll still go back to check and do one or two things. So when it comes to healthcare, nothing really much. And actually, FMC actually also afforded me the opportunity to gain some hands-on skills.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it comes to family, actually, Ibadan would have actually made more sense for me. But then looking at the workload in Ibadan, I'm not sure it would have actually been of any considerable advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's that. Well, that's actually just my own picture of Ibadan. Like, Ibadan is a very very stressful place. Lots of things to do. You won't even have time for other things that you feel that or that you felt that you have been able to create time for.
Okay. So which specialty are you thinking of going into?
Surgery, the unit
Where
in
is surgery?
surgery, ophthalmology.
Yeah, and it's human surgery and
Yes, no.
what else?
Oh no, let me just keep quiet. As a surgeon, I'm licensed to do whatever I like. Yes.
Yeah. He has a very particular reason why he wants to be an ophthalmologist.
Because I need time for myself. I need time to do other
Because he
things.
doesn't want anybody counseling in surgery. That's why. This young man wants to be an ophthalmologist because he doesn't want any anesthesiologist to tell him that they cannot do surgery.
Yes, that's a very wonderful reason too, right? Most
Yeah, I
of
guess.
yes, now and to me it's actually like a very important. I don't want to have someone else canceling my subject for reasons best known to them. I just believe, oh, I like working with people, yes, but then let me be the one in control of most of what I want to do.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's your favorite color?
Green, 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 green.
You don't have any green thing in your life.
My toothbrush is green.
Apart from your toothbrush.
Eh, what else is green in my life?
Because I would have never guessed green is your favorite color.
But I just like green, yeah. Green is my favorite color.
There's nothing green in your life.
I have plants around me. I have shrubs that are green.
In your life.
I see them everywhere. Okay, in my life. Well, green is my favorite color.
Okay. What's your
Yeah.
favorite food?
Favorite food? That's a very big question. How come I'm thinking too much talk about it?
I thought you would have mentioned the best. Okay, by the way, it makes a very nice beans and corn. Like this doctor, that is very. I mean, I had to like work the technique a bit. I had to like, oh, you can. I had to improve the technique, but it's beans and corn to die for. Love it, love it. I really do love it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, I also should add that Dr. Adebiyi had rescued my life.
Like I
I
said,
don't need to do it. It's just need to say that.
he's trying to warn me too much. Anyhow, sure.
So what's the best food?
Yeah, you'll be shocked. You're in for a shocker.
Okay.
My best food happens to be swallow.
Ah. Oh, again, you used to eat.
I guess what? Eba and ewedu.
You really didn't have that this year in this house job.
Actually,
I'm really glad we got to do this.
yeah. It has been a lot actually. At some point, I could not really function to the best of my ability. I was combining so many things, and then, well, I'm actually very happy that I had people around me that were really able to just carry on with the job. For example, the House of Officers week, I was barely there, and I was just so happy at the level of, how would I say, it, the output, what we're actually able to achieve with the House of Officers week. So, yeah,
Don't you think they deserve a thank you?
they all deserve a thank you.
Are you not going to tell them thank you?
Thank you. And
Thank you.
that's also why I actually like to also, my son was actually to mention all their names. I have a long list of people, or a long
Yeah.
list of names.
Time will not afford us.
No,
But
I'll still try. I'll still put them in somewhere. So let me start. Dr. Meta Joa, shout out to you. Dr. Olorunfemi, shout out to you. Yusufu, shout out to you. Ogundano, shout out to you. Why are you covering your ears?
No, I'm not coming. I'm waiting for
Dr.
you to start.
Ola, shout out to you for your blood donation drive. So
Yeah.
many people. Dr. Adeyeye, Dr. Nwoba. I actually name what they're talking about in this FM show. But then
Because
I continue.
I'm trying to realize how long it is for you, it will take for you to mention 60 names.
Actually, I can do that within 2 minutes. Should you give it a try?
No. For whoever he hasn't named, is really, really grateful.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm actually so grateful I met him.
See, I didn't even mention her name, so that is a lot.
Oh, by the way, I remember, I remember when he got well, and he was telling people thank you for their help. I had to fight him that he had not mentioned my name, so he should go back and add my name to his thank you message.
She threatened my life.
Again,
I was afraid. Oh my
loving
God.
not. Alright, so on to next episode. Bye.
Bye.